Thanks for checking out the BoshNRoll channel. If you want to see me play your deck, hang out with me in the amazing BoshNRoll community in Discord, access to my lists and sideboard guides before tournaments, book an individual coaching session, or just generally want to support what's going on here, check out the Patreon and YouTube membership options. For the finest Magic the Gathering apparel on the market, use code BoshNRoll for 10% off your order at coalesceapparel.shop. Moxfield.com is the easiest way to build a Magic deck online. If you want to play what I'm playing, use my affiliate link to support the channel while you shop for cards at tcgplayer.com and play any deck anytime on Magic Online with a cardhoarder.com loan account. Thanks for being here. Let's go play some Magic. Welcome back to the BoshNRoll channel. Today, at the request of Patreon subscriber 93, I have taken on a brew challenge. And the challenge was build a Pauper deck where we turn the Indestructible cycle of artifact lands into creatures and then bash with our indestructible creatures. That was the whole brief. No colors, no additional rules. That was the task I was given. The best cards to turn lands into creatures permanently, there's really only 3. There's a lot of one-shot effects where it's like target non-creature permanent becomes a 3/3 or 4/4 until end of turn. A lot of them also draw a card. That's not how I wanted to take this. There are 2 cards from Kamigawa Neon Dynasty, Harmonious Emergence, and there's also a red one. Here's the green one that did make the cut, the red one didn't. 4 mana, enchant land you control. Enchanted land is a 4/5 green spirit creature with vigilance and haste. It's still a land. If the land would be destroyed, instead sacrifice Emergence, and that land is indestructible until end of turn. Our lands are already indestructible, but there are worlds where it would end up on a different one, so that text is nice. A 4/5 Vigilance Indestructible is a pretty big object in a game of Pauper. That thing gets to attack every turn and block every turn and can't be destroyed. All exciting text to have on a card. 4/5 felt big enough that that's worth doing, worth stretching the deck to make it happen. Unfortunately, the red card in this mini cycle, it's a 2 mana version of the same effect with all the same enchant land you control. If it would die, it becomes indestructible, but it becomes a 3/3 haste. 3/3 haste didn't seem like a big enough creature or the correct keyword, and it ended up not making the final cut. But we also have Kenku Artificer, which is the one other version of this effect that doesn't last until end of turn and puts real stats on the creature. This one makes it a 3/3 flying. Flying is the type of keyword that I'm very excited to have on my indestructible creature in a game of Pauper. Just get in front of those fairies, get in front of those Squadron Hawks, whatever, forever. The other version, if you're interested, was Ashnod's Transmogrant. It's a 1 mana artifact that can turn a non-creature artifact, give it +1/+1, and turn it into a creature. A 1/1 with no abilities did not seem like the place to go with this effect, but Harmonious Emergence and Kenku Artificer, both in the deck as 4/ofs. We will see some creature or some lands turn into creatures, and they will either be big or have relevant keywords on them. And I decided that supporting the 2 best versions of the effect was better than playing 12 or 16 if they become bad versions of that effect. And I tucked it into a Temur Ramp Cascade shell. Cleansing Wildfire was going to be a no-brainer. No matter where this deck went, I was obviously going to put Wildfire into my deck built on the artifact bridges. And I knew the deck was going to be green for Harmonious Emergence. Ramp. Green tends to like ramp. And there's lots of Jund, usually Jund-based versions of Wildfire decks. There's also some Jeskai ones. This is an engine that kind of fell off in the Pauper space. It was very exciting when the lands first came out, but then people realized that Thoughtcast is probably just a better way to get card advantage with those lands. But we're back in Cleansing Wildfire zone. If you haven't seen this, destroy target land, its controller may search your library for a basic land, put it into play, tapped, then shuffle, and you draw a card. If you target your own indestructible land with this, you get to search your library for a basic land, put it into play, draw a card, and your land doesn't get destroyed. Good stuff. The top end of this deck, Boarding Party and Annoyed Altasaur, just giant creatures with Cascade attached. They can cascade into the Kenku Artificer or the Harmonious Emergence. And I put a bunch of just other value stuff in here. There's one Muldrifter. This was 3 at one point. It was 0 at one point. I've moved Muldrifter around, but I decided I wanted to play one in my Temur ramp deck. This is just a card I love in Pauper in general. It's pretty good with Pulse of Marasa, which is a card I wanted to play for some main deck life gain and selection. Just good friends all around there. Llanowar Visionary is a staple in this type of archetype. It's card advantage, it draws a card, it's ramp, it taps for green. It's exactly the type of card you want. You're not disappointed to cascade into it because it draws a card. You're not disappointed to draw it early because it helps you get where you want to go. Just good stuff all around. And I ended up putting 4 Avenging Hunters in the deck, mostly because I haven't gotten to play with the initiative and most of the cards just got banned. So we're going to be an initiative deck. This might be better. There is a something or other of Trest. I'm forgetting the name right now, but there is a card with the exact same mana value. It's a 4/4 where it makes you the Monarch instead of takes the initiative. But I decided to go with the initiative. This deck kind of wants to attack, and trample is an important keyword on this Avenging Hunter. And the initiative tends to get the game over faster, where Monarch just draws you more cards. And once I'm making 4 or 5 Indestructibles, I don't really want the game to last longer. I want to start bashing with them. So I went with the more forward-leaning mechanic and the creature with trample in that spot. To round out finishing off a game, 4 Galvanic Blast, 4 Fire Ice. Fire Ice can help control those pesky little creature decks in the early turns. Ice can be pretty good at winning a race. If you cascade into this, you can always draw a card because of ice if there's nothing good to fire. Galvanic Blast, we'll see about this one. With all the artifact lands in the deck, Metalcraft will be on some amount of the time. I'm not sure if it will be reliable enough that this is just better than Lightning Bolt, but I'm here for the high roll. We're going to try this one over Lightning Bolt, because there's really no other artifacts in the deck. There's some relics in the sideboard, but in the main deck, we need 3 bridges in play to get Metalcraft, and there's no other route to that. But I'm in for it. I put 1 sweeper in the main deck because there are a lot of creature decks around. It's cool now that Fiery Cannonade and Breath Weapon are basically the same card. Deal 2 damage to each non-dragon, deal 2 damage to each non-pirate. My deck happens to contain both a dragon and a pirate, but my pirate is smaller. So I decided my dragon can take 2 damage better than my pirate can, and leaned into Fiery Cannonade in the main, but I have 4 of this effect across the deck, and I split them 2 and 2. It was 3 Cannonades for a while to protect my boarding party, and then I remembered that the Monarch creature that blue-red plays is a pirate, and it's an X2. So Breath Weapon out of the sideboard can help kill that one when I actually want to kill pirates. I put a lot of thought into how I'm going to split my sweepers and which one goes in the main deck. Probably more than is necessary. Most of these are just going to kill most creatures. But those are the nuances of deck building that might find you an extra point here or there. And in my research, I found a bunch of different builds of Temur, a bunch of different builds of Temur Ramp or Temur Control, just deep dive on Goldfish. And all of their sideboards just looked like this. Weather the Storm, D-Glamour, Relic of Progenitus, Penumbra Spider, and some number of sweepers. Full stop. That was everything that was going on in the Temur sideboards. Didn't even see a different card that I could consider. And also looking at the Goldfish metagame, Burn is the #1 deck by a lot. It's like 23% of the metagame, and the next deck is like 12. Or Weather the Storm seemed like the place to be on that one. The D-Glamour in my sideboard, though, brings me to an important thing that I want to mention about this deck. The primary way to combat Affinity right now, which is a deck that leans into these artifact lands, is by exiling artifacts. Revoke Existence, Dust to Dust, D-Glamour. All of these effects are present in the metagame and specifically designed to remove these indestructible lands from play, which makes it risky to build a deck around sticking one of these indestructible lands, and in many cases 2-for-1ing yourself to turn it into a creature. This exposes us to a metagaming principle called splash damage, where, like, if Dredge is the best deck in Legacy, playing Reanimator is probably a mistake because everybody's built to beat Dredge, which is a more efficient version of the same deck you're doing. So everybody's already gunning for exactly the space you're trying to operate in, and you're doing it in a less efficient way than the main number one deck is. We're doing that. We're leaning right in, but that's the challenge, is what it is. We got other stuff to do. Hopefully, if we get paired into a deck full of Dust to Dust and Revoke Existences, we could just use the other half of the deck. We can also target a non-artifact land with Emergence. Kenku Artificer, unfortunately, can only target non-creature artifacts, so we're just moving in on that one. But it's fine. This deck has enough power that it doesn't have to do the thing, but the thing is going to be good some amount of the time. This ended up being a very long deck tech, but I haven't built a deck mostly from scratch in a long time, so I wanted to go card by card, explain my choices. Some of this is established Pauper engine, some of it is I've never seen before, and some of it is me reaching into my boomer sensibilities and jamming Muldrifter into a Pauper deck. I don't know. Let's try it out. That's the only way we can know for sure. In we go. I'm on the play in round number 1 with a Wildfire on turn 2 and cheap interaction and a boarding party. This is what we register the deck to do. Let's go. The Wildfire is going to have to grab an island. That's the color I'm missing. Let's see what we're up against here. Uh-oh. A basic mountain. It passed the turn, though. It doesn't mean anything good. It just means... I don't know what it means. That I'm getting bolted in the end of turn. Cleansing Wildfire. Feels good, man. I genuinely love this interaction, and I think it's really good for Pauper. And it would be a shame if the artifact lands end up catching a ban. A recent video from Gavin representing the Pauper panel said that the artifact lands are on watch. And I mean, I think these cards are probably not doing anything good for Pauper, except for this Cleansing Wildfire deck. I think this is really cool. A second basic mountain with no lightning bolt in my end step. I don't know what's going on right now. I could play a tap land. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna soldier up here. Okay, the first indestructible creature of the league has arrived on turn 3. We even ramped into it. That was cool. And this isn't until Artificer dies or anything. It's just a 3/3. So they just spent Lightning Bolt on a 1/1 that already affected the board. Kiln Fiend. Oh, that's what we're doing. Okay. It's a good time to have an indestructible creature and 2 Fire Ices up. Ooh, I would love to take the initiative right now, but this Kiln Fiend, I'm not going to mess with that. Okay, I'm going to play Slagwood Bridge tapped. That sets up the boarding party for next turn, and I can cast 2 fires if I need to. I could also just Ice Kiln Fiend. But let's see what their plan is to punch through my indestructible blocker. Okay, Manamorphose. Sure. Kiln Fiend is 4/2. Swift Spear. Okay. Maybe I just Ice Kiln Fiend and leave the indestructible bridge to block Swift Spear. Temur Battle Rage. Okay. Yep. That would get through this under normal circumstances. Ice, ice, baby. Let's just put you to sleep. Is there a protection spell in mono red? There's probably some cantrip in Magic that's like target creature gains haste, untap it, draw a card. Oh, I feel like that's a thing. Oh, Apostle's Blessing. Yep, that's also a thing. Okay, so I can fire the Kiln Fiend, or, I mean, blocking it is still a mistake. If I fire it and they have mutagenic growth, I'm in trouble. I guess I could block it, then fire it, and that at least absorbs 3 damage just in case. Yeah, alright, sure. We're going to name blue with Apostle's Blessing. I don't have another blue to ice it with, is the problem here. Pro blue, you got it. Battle Rage resolves. And mutagenic growth is a problem here. Block. Guess I was dead anyway. I probably should have blocked the Swift Spear. Don't growth me. Alright, the creature's in the graveyard. We got away with it. That was fun. Now I can take the initiative with an Indestructible blocker and a 4/5, or I could boarding party. I'm just going to take the initiative. I'm in the entrance, search your library for basic land, reveal it, put it in your hand. I'll do that, thank you. How about this forest? It's as good as anything else. And then in my next upkeep, scry 2 or +2/+2. I'm not going to attack because this deck clearly has haste creatures and ways to push through damage. Backup Kiln Fiend. Looks pretty good. If this Swift Spear attacks, I'm going to double block. Alright, no attack, no problem. Now I have to make a choice. Do I want to scry 2 or put 2/+1 counters on a creature? The creatures are already real big. If I scry 2, I could set up the Cascade. Yeah, I'm going into the Lost Well. I don't actually want either of these, so bottom. Looking for a removal spell at this point. I'm going to boarding party. Let's party. How about a sweeper? Alright. I found the Harmonious Emergence, another big indestructible dingus. And I'm not going to attack. I'm just going to hang back and block. We're down to 1 card in hand. I got a lot of beef in play, and this Vigilance Indestructible homie is like exactly what I want in this matchup. Reckless Impulse, pretty good here. They found a Battle Rage. That could be dangerous. Gonna have to pile up here and might still die. Of course they would hit Cycle Spell into Battle Rage. Them having the initiative for 1 turn isn't that bad. If their hand like does anything though, so I could put 3, 7, 10 in front of Kiln Fiend. Then I end up taking 13. Another spell makes it 17. Yeah, 1 more spell, I'm dead. If I had blocked better on that earlier turn, like if I had put Slagwood Bridge in front of the Swift Spear, we would be in less trouble now. But I'm going to pile the whole squad in front of the trample damage. And just hope they don't have any spell. Bummer! Fucking Reckless Impulse into the nuts. We were doing it. Just don't have anything. How about that? First strike damage has been done. Regular damage, I go to 3. I'm dead to Lightning Bolt. They get to search for a land. I'm in some trouble here. Played the land, 2 cards in hand. Get to at least take the initiative back twice here. Or I get to attack and I get it back, then play my creature and do it again. Alright, now I need to start attacking. So I get the initiative back from the damage. The options are create a treasure or goad target creature. Do I care about more mana? Next turn I can draw a card if I goad this turn. Or I draw a card right now, actually, because I'm about to play another initiative creature. Yeah, I would like to goad your Swift Spear. And then 1, 2, 3. I should leave blue up. 3, 4, 5. I get the initiative again, which means I venture further into the dungeon. I would like to draw a card. Do I want a 4/1 skeleton? 5, 9, 10, 11, 12. They're already dead. There's nothing I could draw that stops me from losing to Lightning Bolt. 4/1 skeleton. That's actually really interesting. And then the thing pops. Yeah, maybe I actually do want the skeleton here. Because the game's not going to go another turn. One of us is dead right now. Oh, that was scary. The Kiln Fiend into the nut. Reckless Impulse. Yikes. Okay. Weather the Storm and Penumbra Spider. Or are the sweepers better? We got weathers. There's a lot of stuff with some application here. Alright, sorry, Muldrifter. You know I love you, but you're out. The sweepers are really good. Also Marasa gaining life, but I'm bringing in weathers to replace that. To make sense of this pile. Are any of their creatures pirates or dragons? Does that matter? I don't think so. Okay, add some sweepers and some weathers. I don't think I want all of either. Lunging Huntmaster seems a little risky. Harmonious Emergence seems really slow, but insanely effective against them. I think I can go a little slimmer on that. The Artificer was great, just getting that that creature into play early. I think Avenging Hunter. Oh, Altasaur. This game might not go long enough to get Altasaur on board or online. On board. Haha, board. I like Boarding Party. That one actually does happen pretty quick. I got room for one more here. I could Weather and Breath Weapon, but I don't know. Or I guess Weather is actually really good against Kiln Fiend because Kiln Fiend gets +2 and I gain +3 for each spell they cast in a turn. I'm actually going to go down one more Altasaur, get all my sweepers and all my weathers in. I could lower my curve even more with Penumbra Spider, and yeah, I'm gonna replace all my 7 drops and my 4 drops that are actually 5 drops with 4 drops that are actually 4 drops. There's my plan. Ooh, really slow, but this comes with the territory of a deck full of tap lands. I'm going to keep this. Any basic land gives me turn 2 ramp or turn 2 fire ice as needed. Spear is coming swiftly. I'm going to play my red land because that gives me the 2 important spells if I spike the basic. We could just die here. Probably not like right here, but if they go Kiln Fiend pass, could be in a lot of trouble. Didn't Kiln Fiend me, and we drew the basic. Easy money. Wildfire, my Indestructible land, and I want green here. Get a forest. There we go. Oh, I drew a sweeper. Good shit. Okay, how much damage am I taking? Oh, you're just putting Kiln Fiend into play and passing. Okay. Deal. If I draw an untapped land, I will consider Fire Ice. I think I just sweeper now. But if they have like protection spell for Kiln Fiend and trigger, then nothing actually dies. I could play Kenku Artificer, which is a blocker and sets up the Indestructible blocker after that. Also just hold up Weather. If I had drawn an untapped land, I would have Fire Iced or fired the Kiln Fiend and hold up Weather. There's a really good chance that just nothing dies if I Breath Weapon here. Also a good chance I die if I don't try to interact with the Kiln Fiend. Okay, I'm going to try to sweep. Here we go. Yeah, Mutagenic Growth or Apostle's Blessing are both bad here, but they're both better if they're cast on my turn than if they're cast on the opponent's turn, because at least the buffs wear off before combat. Alright, had the Blessing. It's fine, we were prepared for this. It's at least 3 damage I'm not taking right now. And then I can set up an Indestructible blocker or double Weather next turn, or Ice plus Weather. Let's see if I get it next turn. Yikes. Ooh, just burnt off the Manamorphose mana. Don't even have a spell to cast. Hook that to my veins. Right, I think I'm going to go for the Fire plus Weather line here. I really want this Kiln Fiend out of play. Fire, and even if they protect this, I gain 9 life, and their hand is clearly bad. Okay. Okay, Fire fizzles. And then I'll just gain 9 and pass the turn. Their hand must be lands and protective spells. I'm just back to 20. I do need to get the board stable. Gaining life doesn't beat aggro decks by itself. Wow, Kiln Fiend 2 Swift Spears just attack for 3. Good shit. Okay, I could ramp myself, gain another 6 right now, and draw a card. That actually seems really good. Red, green, Wildfire. I need mana eventually, and if I spend this turn ramping and gaining 6, next turn I can put the Indestructible 4/5 into play. I have 2 green, 2 red, 2 blue. My colors are all rounded out. The most important cards in my deck are red. Okay, I will get a mountain. Oh, I even drew Fire Ice. I could try to kill Kiln Fiend again, or I could gain 6 life. Next turn I can Kenku plus Fire. This is really interesting. 17. 17's a lot of life. I'm going to try to remove the Kiln Fiend. Again, like even if I get stuffed here, it's a spell they don't have on their own turn for all their prowess creatures. All right, 17 life versus 2 Swift Spears, feeling way better than with the Kiln Fiend in the mix. And my read at this point is their hand is just lands. Okay, once I'm stable, I have a really good thing to do with that stability. Do I want the blue-red land or the green-blue land? to be indestructible or to be the creature. Not sure that it matters. Can we get to attack this turn? We're in there. Bang. Good luck, little Swift Spears. I'll block, I promise. I don't care what you have. Nice. All right, I'm going to attack and then play Penumbra Spider. Opponent's at 8. Bang. That's the turn. I got a lot of butt in the way here. And we got the scoop. There were some dicey moments there, but we navigated them. Nice. That was a good starting show for this deck. On to the next one.
This video is sponsored by Moxfield.com, the easiest way to build Magic decks online. Moxfield supports over 30 formats, including Legacy and every other format you'll see on this channel. They have multiple customizations so you can view your deck how you want. Text view, stacks, grid, custom grouping by type, subtype, color, light mode, dark mode. However you want to see your deck, they can provide it for you. My favorite feature is you can choose your set printing, make the deck look exactly how you want it to. The deck screen features expandable sections that show you what tokens your deck makes, your recent change history to the deck, stats about mana curve and opening hand distribution, mana cost distribution. You can deal out sample hands and even play test the deck. Island Ponder. You know I'm keeping this one. This site has everything. Follow me on Moxfield.com to keep up with decks I'm playing for the channel and what I'm up to in paper. I'll see you there.
I'm on the draw for round 2. I am not going to keep this hand in hopes that I draw an untapped mountain in my first 2 draw steps. I'm going to mulligan this. It's pretty close to the nuts, though. Shame. All right, we're cool with this one. I'm going to keep and send the second copy of the Redundant Bridge. I'll keep a 5-lander before I keep a 1-lander. Easily. Another basic mountain strategy. Okay. Fire Ice is going to be good in this one. Gotta get a red source in. Playing Silver Bluff Bridge gives me all 3 of my colors with basic forest, so I'll start with that one. Feeling good about the 4x weather and 4x sweeper in my deck in this mono red metagame here. Play another X1. Play another X1. Played nothing at all. Yeah, big Mully. Always happy to see that card. I'm not going to fire right away. See what they have in play next turn. Like, they could bolt and then play the 2/2 haste. Okay, we're just blooding. Nope, changed her mind. Ended up spending no mana at all on a whole turn cycle. I like that out of mono red. That's a deal. Synthesizer, okay. Flip to Fire Blast. Probably not going to go in on that one this early. But I guess if the hand is like 3 mountains, maybe you do. I'm going to take one from this in case there's a creature in the second main that I'd rather kill. Or even better, a second Epicure in the end step. You're fired, and so is your face. Beep boop. One's all around. Fire resolves, and the Fire Blast went uncast as expected. Now I have a real decision to make of draw 2 cards with Muldrifter or develop my mana further. I've drawn a lot of tap lands. I think I just want some cards. Getting Muldrifter in my graveyard turns on that Pulse of Marasa that's in my deck in a big way. And there's stuff I can do on 3 mana. None of it's that, but my opponent not exactly blazing out of the gates here. Still haven't cracked their blood token. They like every card in their hand. That's mildly terrifying. Reckless Impulse, flipped off Synthesizer, found 2 lands. Okay, with Great Furnace, the Synthesizer is already kind of a hint, but they are trying to keep Metalcraft. That's what's happening. I am not going to put my 4/5 into play because it doesn't matter this turn. Next turn I can play it, and it's immediately a presence. And this gets a tap land out of my hand. I guess it depends on what they do, because if they just don't add to the board... Alright, they have added to the board by sacking a Synthesizer and flipped a Swift Spear. So they went from 0 creatures to 2 off that interaction. Now I do want to put something into play. They've been pretty clearly representing Galvanic Blast this whole time. So an Indestructible 4/5 contesting the board seems like a good place to be. Cleansing Wildfire. Does it matter which land, I put this on. I think I'm more likely to want to leave red up going into their turn, which means I want to make the red land into the Vigilance creature. Opponent reading this card for the first time in Horror. Let's go. Bash. I would love to draw an untapped land next turn. Oh, by putting it on the red land, I don't get to Wildfire next turn. That might have been a mistake. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was thinking about theoretical cards in my deck, like Galvanic Blast and Fire, rather than the actual card in my hand of Cleansing Wildfire. All right, here comes the Galvanic Blast, which is a little scary because they have 5 cards in hand, and my life total is a multiple of 4. Sacked the other synthesizer. Found Coldotha Rebirth. You can go pretty wide here if you want to lose your Furnace or Blood token. Probably worth doing. That's a good answer to a single 4/5 creature in play. And me unable to ramp because I'm a dum-dum. Keep making land drops. Another Rebirth. Yikes. That's so many goblins. I need my 1-of sweeper right now. Come on, Pirate Clasm. Galvanic Blast. I can kill something. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I go to 2 next turn. Yuck. Okay. Yeah, they went wide very quickly on me after me putting the brakes on their meager beats. Found the other half of the deck. I'll play Silver Bluff Bridge, and I can block one of these creatures and blast another. God, and they still have 3 cards in hand. Normally at this phase of the game, burn is down to like 0 or 1 cards in hand, but they got 3. Yeah. Game is not going to happen. Okay. Block a Swift Spear. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's so many goblins. I'm going to blast a Samurai, because they have to cast a spell to get Swift Spear to do more damage than Samurai, and I'm dead to any spell anyway. So I'll just stuff the 2-power creature, which is probably an argument that I should have blocked a Samurai as well. Oh, I'm at 3. Could have been at 4. Also could have been dead, I guess. All right, yeah. They could have done that during combat, so the block wasn't punished. Yeah, putting the frog thing on the red source when I had Cleansing Wildfire in hand was a mistake, for sure. Could have had a redraw there. But my sideboard is stacked aggressively for this kind of thing. Let's see that sideboard plan again. 9 cards out, 9 cards in. The Altosaurs, the Mauldrifter, the Avenging Hunter. Emergence can slow down. Yeah, I'm just replacing the 4-drop that doesn't impact the board with a 4-drop that does. Is Emergence better than Avenging Hunter? Full stop. Because they're both mostly 5-drops, and one of them is an indestructible creature and also a threat, and one of them might be uncastable. Like if they just have 3 goblins and can take the initiative. They're haste creatures. Also, I might Cascade into Avenging Hunter in a spot where I don't want it. But it is a gigantic trample booty. Also, Harmonious Emergence. Someday I'll say the name of this card right. Harmonious Emergence is literally a 4-drop, even though it doesn't really affect the board unless you play like a 5-drop. So on turn 4, I can jam this thing, then have a creature turn 5, where if my 5th land enters the battlefield tapped, I don't even get to Hunter if I want to. I think I do want the Emergences here. And this is my new plan. Let's do it. 4 sweepers, 4 weathers, bunch of butts. On the play, I have a Weather of Fire, Ice, and a ramp. I'm going to keep. Great hand. I'm going to lead on Slagwood Bridge. That gets my green. My whole hand is red and green, so let's get started with that. And then I can decide what land I'm going to ramp for after I see my next draw step. Every land in my hand makes red already. I'll probably be searching for a forest, would be my guess. Because blue is only for the bird and ice, neither of which are high impact cards in this matchup. The red and green cards are the important ones here. Yeah, I'm probably going to ramp for a forest, but we'll see what my draw step holds. Swift Spear. Maybe I just take out Swift Spear with Fire right now while they Can't cast a spell. Oh, but sweeper on a following turn. I don't want to waste that. Okay, I'm going to just fire the Swiftspear now. You're fired. Then next turn I can ramp plus play a land, or just hold up weather if it's an emergency. But we're playing into fiery cannonade anyway. Okay, they rebirthed. An untapped land is a sweeper. Visionary, not what I wanted. Cleansing Wildfire. I'll take this turn to ramp, and then next turn to sweep. Okay. Here are my resources. Go. Please don't kill me. Maybe put 3 more goblins into play. That would be cool. Synthesizer hit their land drop. Oh, that's why their hand was so full at the end of last game. I forgot about Synthesizer. They did play several of those. An untapped land would be nuts, because then I get to Fiery Cannonade and Weather the Storm with the extra storm. I can also just hold up Weather and see what they do. I'm just going to play, like, the 2 cards I would play this turn are both instants, so I can pass. See what happens. There's the Gooblers coming in. They put a creature into play, I get to sweep an extra thing. If they cast a spell, I get to gain extra life. Is this activate as a sorcery? It is. Okay. I can Fiery Cannonade now. Sweep up these jerks. And then I can play Visionary with Weather the Storm still up. And I am going to do that rather than play this Harmonious Emergence. I would like my life total to be added and protected. Storm is 1. They fire off some bolts in the end step that grows the Weather the Storm. Used your Synthesizer, found Fire Blast. And I guess we're at a point in the game where maybe there's enough resources to shoot that one off. Yeah, with 5 lands, yeah, you probably just take it here. Yep, got Fire Blasted. Cast some more spells. Epicure, okay, okay. Got another spell for me? Please cast another spell. I'm not going to get greedy over 9 life. We're taking this one. Grow the lands. Grow the life. Alright, they did have a bolt. Killed my Visionary, that's cool. Gonna have a much better creature than that in play. Ooh. And there's that also. Slag Woods Bridge is the one I have many of. I'll make that one into the Big Frog. Shout out to my Discord moderator, Kath Big Frog, who apparently is named after this enchantment. Alright, turn in the corner here. Got a big idiot in play. I have Fire Ice if I need to kill something. Sweeper loaded up in the background. Reckless Impulse, that card's scary. Mountain Chain Lightning, sure. If they Chain Lightning, I can send it back. I do have red up. And kill Samurai. We'll go with a Rebirth, sure. Fire Cannonade's looking good, team. And they did not Chain Lightning. The ability to send it back, too powerful. Silver Bluff Bridge. I'm just going to Cannonade now. Clear this out. I still have Fire Ice. Just take my 4, attack for 4 here. I guess they can Chain Lightning. Oh, Impulse gives you until next turn. Alright, I can still send Chain Lightning back. But if they cast it this turn, they can send it back again. There's probably a sequence of lands I could have tapped to have double Chain Lightning. Like if they Lightning, I can send it back, they send it back, I send it back again. That was probably there if I was looking for it. I am going to send it back. The race is on. Going to send it back again. Okay. I'm at 11, you're at 9. Can't send it back again. Probably could have if I was really thinking about it. 4, 5, 6. Oh, another one. Can't send that one back. Would I rather draw a card here? 4, 8. No, the fire does take a whole turn off the clock. I'm not going to draw a card. Haste creature. All right, kind of a haste creature. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, we're in there. Birdo. Attack for 7, and then poke you with fire. Indestructible creatures. Coming at you. Harmonious Emergence is messed up against creature decks. 4 or 5 Vigilance? Vigilance? That's a crazy word to have on a card. I don't think anything changes here. I mean, they are kind of an artifact deck, but that doesn't mean I want Deglamour. They're not the kind of artifact deck that is for. And yeah, this is the best version of my deck. Just got to draw multiple sweepers and multiple weathers, and we're good. No red mana in this hand. Oh, that's a heartbreaker. Red is the most important color in this whole deck, and I think I got a mulligan this one. Okay. Red mana, fire, sweeper. I'm gonna keep this, and I think boarding party goes to the bottom. That's a later problem to think about. So all these lands enter the battlefield tapped. If I find an untapped land, I'll feel a lot better about this game. Also, if they just do nothing with their mana on turn 1, I'll feel good about the game. Get my red in there. Bolting me in the end step, sure. Experimental synthesizer spike the mountain, bummer. Hate when it all lines up for my opponent. Things are only supposed to be good for me. Speaking of good for me, I did draw the untap basic. I get my ramp spell here. I think I just want more red. Just hungry for red all the time. Starving for red. Down bad for red mana. End step lightning bolt. They're taking the cheeky burn approach to this one, which is going to work if I don't find a good Weather the Storm or a good Pulsa Marasa somewhere along the way. Okay, no mana spent. Surely that means they have nothing, right? Right? Okay, do I want? I guess all these are green. The question is, do I want a second blue mana in play? Do I think that's important? And do I want a Llanowar Visionary, draw a card, or a Kenku and have a blocker set up? Yeah, the Kenku's actually 2 creatures, so I think I'm gonna play the Slagwoods Bridge and then Kenku up my blocker for the future. Invest in success. Magic Online lit up the synthesizer like there's any world I'm going to target that. Wise guy. Wise guy Magic Online. Galvanic Blast for 2. Alright. Opponent's hand must be full of burn spells. No creatures in play. Lava Dart could have targeted Kenku and it went for my face. Yeah, they are mapping out a burn game, and I need a life gain spell, like, soon. Okay, crack the synthesizer. Please reveal something you can't cast. Yes, Reckless Impulse. Even if the land's in their hand, they're not going to get up to 2 mana this turn. Love seeing resources burnt off. Come on, Weather. I can Llanowar Visionary, draw a card, and then if it's a 2-drop, still cast it. I'm going to Visionary here. Come on, Weather. Okay. Yeah, I think having a Fire Ice is worth doing. Not going to attack with anything. We're chilling. I think a Weather the Storm wins this game. I just need to find one. I'm in genuinely concerning burn range. I'm not going to send this one back. I'm not giving them 2 spells for 1 spell. 2 cards in their hand, I'm at 8. Double Fire Blast kills me. They're nowhere near Galvanic Blast. There's still the Lava Dart in the graveyard. Gotta watch out for that one. I'm going to fire Samurai in the end step. It is impeding my damage here. Reducing your opponent's life total to 0 is also a way to win games outside of Weather the Storm. Oh no, something's happening. Use your hand, double Fire Blast. Oh no, it is. It's happening. Yeah, just what are you gonna do? I guess I could have represented Weather the Storm so that line wasn't available to them. That's what you're gonna do? Whatever though. I was 2 cards away from a Weather. I don't know. Maybe I could have let them on the hook for a while. Yeah, tapping out there does give up. Like, it literally had to be that. They had to have 2 Fire Blasts in their top 13 cards, and it had to be the last 2 cards in their hand. But I could have at least represented, don't go for it here, and give myself more chances to find Weather. Like, if I just untap, play my land, pass, and they go for that line next turn, I could at least Fire Ice to try to draw into the Weather, and that's... Yeah, I think I win that game if I don't get greedy. Like, pushing for damage here on a thing that was not part of the game anyway. Obviously, that's a low percentage thing, but I could have played around it. Son of a bitch. Alright, on to the next one. You come here to level up at Magic. To level up as a software engineer, check out the new YouTube series Dev Better, hosted by the founder of 7 Factor Software and Magic player, Jeremy Duvall. 7Factor's small teams of high-performing engineers build custom mobile apps, APIs, and highly scalable systems for Fortune 500 companies and ambitious startups with great ideas. If you'd like to hire 7Factor, or maybe join their team, contact them through their website at 7factor.io. And don't forget to subscribe to 7Factor's YouTube for every episode of Dev Better. On the draw, round 3, I'm going to keep this hand. It has the turn 2 Fire Ice, and then I start ramping and drawing cards with Visionaries. We're going to see Basic Mountain again. Oh, that last game is going to haunt me. If I just don't cast my spell, I win. Okay, not a Basic Mountain. At least something has changed. Though the gain life or die binary of the mono red decks is kind of a comfort in some ways. I could ice their land in the draw step here, but I don't really know what this deck is yet. Preordain. Okay, is this like familiars? What are we doing? Top, bottom. Hit their land drop. Just gonna ice in the end step and resolve a Visionary on my turn. Just start moving through the deck here. And if they counterspell this, sure, whatever. They're still tapped out, and instead of me drawing a random card, I get counterspell out of their hand. Deal. Okay. Wow, that was so much better than drawing a random card. Elvish Vish. Get in there. Or Llanowar Vish. Different card. Ooh. And that ramped up into... I've drawn a surprising number of basic lands this game. Or I could Avenging Hunter next turn. Though they did just show me that their deck has counterspell in it. Can I double spell this turn? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can. I could Cleansing Wildfire my land, try to draw a counterspell, and then play Visionary. I think double spelling is just better against the counterspell deck. Mountain, and then another Visionary. Like, I think Avenging Hunter is the better spell to resolve there, but if I expect interaction, I'd rather just cast 2 spells. And you know what's always 2 spells? A Cascade spell. An opponent missed their land drop last turn. Not entirely sure what that means for me, but I'm excited to jam a giant Cascade creature onto the stack right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I am not going to play around Force Spike. I'm going to cast the biggest one. Maybe even hit the boarding party onto the Cascade. We hit Kenku Artificer. Cool. That's 2 creatures. Artificer's in. I get a 3/3. Altasaur is also in, and I have a land drop. This is a big army to start mashing with next turn, unless we get comboed out somehow. And the opponent has simply conceded. Yeah, that counterspell, I don't agree with that play, basically, in any universe. You make that play if you're trying to cheese, like maybe they don't have a land drop, I'm going to go after that, but then you just don't have one of the best spells in your deck in your hand. Not interested. Deglamor. We saw artifact lands in their deck. I don't know if that's just normal Pauper mana-based deck building, or if Deglamor is actually going to be good, but if there's some blue-white deck that missed a bunch of land drops after a cantrip and then passed the turn, I don't mind having some Stone Rains in my deck. I think I'm going to back off Emergences. That seems like a really low-impact way to spend 4 mana, especially against a white deck that we have already indicated with the Cascade into Kenku that we are using our lands in creative ways. Do I have Relics in? There's a lot of blue-white decks that use the graveyard with like Ephemerate nonsense. Maybe I just want to proactively head in that direction. Okay, I'll do that. Until I have more information about their deck, I'm just going to treat them like some sort of combo control deck. Okay, Deglamor, no ramp, but it's fine. I'm going to keep this. Got lands and spells. And a target for Deglamor. Oh, you're a Jeskai deck. We didn't even know based on last game. Okay, I'll play my pool. Through a tap land. Mountain gives me all my colors next turn, and I can Deglamor their land. If they play a tap white land, which they didn't, I would have gone after that because the white gives them Dust to Dust. Okay, are we going to learn something? Oh, you're also a Wildfire deck? This is cheating. Okay, so they were Jeskai Wildfire the whole time and just did not have any action. Deglamor is an instant. Yeah, I can wait for them to target their land and swoop it away. I don't know. We'll see. I hope you have another Cleansing Wildfire. Cast Wildfire. You get Oracle. Bummer. I'm definitely going to Deglamor this turn. It's just, I'll wait. I was giving them a chance to give me a 3-for-1. Okay. I can't take them off double white, but they don't seem to have it anyway. It's going to hit a land. That clearly is a relevant resource in whatever this synergy control ramp mirror is. Now I have a Wildfire. Cool. If I can break serve by stone raining them off their ramp spell and then casting my own, then I have more mana than them. I currently caught us up. I'd also just jam Avenging Hunter this turn. I don't think I want to risk that. Evoked Muldrifter did not leave their white mana up, so they're not going to ephemerate here. I'm glad for that. Muldrifter drew 2, then lightning bolted me. Okay, sure. And no land drop. That's exciting. Okay. Oh, I don't have to tap this. Yeah, okay. I was about to say, bummer, I can't ice their land, but I can ice their land. I just have to tap my other lands. Use this ability. Still don't think I need more blue than I have. There's just not a lot of blue in the deck. But I'm about to play a red-green dual land. Red is the most important color, though. I have a bunch of green. Yeah, I'll get a mountain. A boarding party. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I could ice their land, mess with their development, but playing my own land gives me boarding party next turn. Yeah, all right. I'm just going to play to my own plan rather than messing with theirs. I'm the proactive deck here. And I'll represent Dispel, even though they've seen Cascade spells and know that I can't put Dispel in my deck. Oh, Hardcast Muldrifter. I'm so jealous. Boarding party gets to crash into this board. Oh, especially now. Don't even get a trade. 6 power coming your way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Start the party. Oh, Relic. That's what happens when you board in low impact cards. Sometimes you draw them. But I'm going to Relic them and then attack. Smash. Took the 6. Unfortunately, not hitting a creature there means that a single lightning bolt stabilizes the board for them. 7 cards in hand. Now they have tons of mana. Weird shit can start happening at this point with Ephemerates and Archaeomancer. Me with my graveyard hate. Just not quite good enough here. It'll be good eventually. But they do get to answer my party. You have the Ephemerate right away. It's kind of now or never. I take 3. Okay, I did not get Ephemerated. 1, 2, 3 gives me Visionary, and then 1, 2 gives me Fire Ice. Yeah, I'm going to Visionary here. I'm not going to boarding party when their combo is sort of chilling over there. I'm going to leave up Relic Activation plus Fire Ice. This can still break my way if I break up the onboard, like you're dead to Ephemerate kind of engine they have here. But it's starting to look bad for me. Modern Age, sure. You get to draw a card, discard a card twice, and then it becomes a 2/3 flyer. Yep. That's a cool card. Big fan of that one. I have some foils in my Pauper collection. Just haven't gotten a chance to sleeve them up yet. Galvanic Blast. That's cool. They can currently Ephemerate and Counterspell, which is exactly the sequence that I don't want to play against. They can't Ephemerate and Counterspell now. I'm going to go for top Relic right now, and if they Ephemerate the Archaeomancer in response, I can kill it. And then that also fizzles the Ephemerate. This is the window I was looking for. If they have Dispel, they still blow me out. Okay. Preordain. I'm going to fire the Archaeomancer now before Ephemerate picks up that Preordain. Like, they can save it, but it still just is in the graveyard at least. Okay. And now they can make decisions with their preordained based on the fact that my relic's gone, but I have another. Top bottom the preordain and pass the turn without making a land drop. So 5 spells in their hand. Is it time to have a party? I think so. Currently counterspell is not up. Reducing their life total to 0 is my most effective weapon in the matchup. Oh yeah, let's become initiative as well. And they can take it back with their flyer, but when I have 11 power of haste and trample in play to your tricksy little hobbitses, I'm cool with that. Searching a basic here even lets me play the relic. Just keep getting mountains. Play my mountain and attack for 6. Big trample creature, big haste creature. Lightning bolt on that is a lightning bolt that doesn't get pointed at my face later. And backup relic. Might as well tap it. So they're going to poke me back here, take the initiative, tutor up a basic land. Oh, ephemerate. They did have it all along. So dancing around it last turn was correct. If they ephemerate their Muldrifter, then they'll need a removal spell to take the initiative. They probably want to just ephemerate Seagate Oracle, still draws a card, and then they can take initiative. Or maybe just drawing 2 cards is better than having initiative. Yeah, sure, that makes sense. And if they have a removal spell, they can just take it with the Oracle. Currently looking at 9 cards in their hand. Discarded Deep Analysis. I'm so jealous their deck rules. I love a Deep Analysis. And they don't have Metalcraft. A 5/4 creature is not exactly trivial to remove. Galvanic Blast. Alright, it took them 2 cards to do it. They do get to poke the initiative on a clean board here, but I have another party. Get to search for a land after making their land drop already. And I can boarding party this turn while holding up Activate Relic. Block with Muldrifter and ephemerate it kind of sucks for me. Yeah, they might just run away with my initiative here. Boarding party it is. We're here to do one thing, and it's party. Cleansing Wildfire, okay. Target my land. There's been quite a few low impact Cascades in the late game here. Or throughout this game, hitting the relic, but it did end up being good. So I can't really complain. I can always complain, what are we kidding? Back for 6. No red mana available. You could chump to keep the initiative. You could chump ephemerate. Get blown out by lightning bolt. But if you have counterspell, it doesn't matter. And you've seen 28 cards of your deck. Probably have counterspell. No block. Alright, I reclaim my initiative. I'm gonna scry 2. Let's keep the action going. Artificer, I don't want. Galvanic Blast, I think I do. Oh, just 4 damage out of nowhere could be really good. And I'm going to get another blue source into play. I'm going to tap Relic now. I don't think I want to activate Relic. It does clear out the Deep Analysis. But if they Deep Analysis, they go to 5, where they're 1 point away from death to my Galvanic Blast. I'm going to leave their graveyard where it is for now. I still have this 6/3 hanging out. Get their 2/3 off the Modern Age. There's the mountain we knew about. Lightning Bolt, my homie. Yep. Now they get to take the initiative again. And put +2 counters on Nick Muldrifter or 4/4. That's actually a serious creature if they want to go that route. The Fire Ice in my hand plus the Galvanic Relay is 6. I'm really hanging them out there on that Deep Analysis and hope they cast it. Like, scry 2 off the initiative. Oh no, they're putting +2 counters. Is Vector Glider going to be huge? Yeah, it is. 4, 5, 6, 7. Still not lethal next turn unless they come up with a burn spell. That is a thing their deck does. Cast Deep Analysis. Cast Deep Analysis. Shit. Alright, I gotta pop my Relic in the end step. I need some action here. I know Galvanic Blast is on top. I would like more of that sort of thing. Muldrifter of my very own. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 mana. I can Muldrifter. See where this goes. It's unfortunately a really good target for Counterspell or Pyroblast. I don't know that Pyroblast would be in their deck. Didn't really show you any blue cards game 1. I guess I showed you blue mana and the Kenko bird. Trap, target player loses 5 life. Oh, I actually am just dead next turn to the thing. Okay. This is an enchantment. 5, 6, 7, 8. I can deglamour the Vector Glider. Maybe I should have started with that. Yeah, target player loses 5 life is pretty serious. I'm rating Muldrifter in response. It was my plan to kill this thing this turn anyway, so I will do that. This is my big explosion this game. Need their hand to not contain a single interactive spell of any kind. And then me also get lucky somehow. I think I just passed the turn without playing my land, goddammit. Just click through that stack so fast that I passed the turn. So I'm at 2 if they decide to trap, which they probably are going to. Yep. Goading a creature when I have no creatures doesn't make any sense. I'm at 3. Dead to any bolt. How many of those are in exile? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All the lightning bolts, but there are 2 Galvanic Blasts, which is also lethal, because 2 is a very small number of life. Archaeomancer can pick up Counterspell and at least lock this game out for me. Yep. I was right to bring in relics at least. Had that read. Like, I didn't even know they were a red deck after game 1. All of that emerged later. My other relic's going to come in for game 3. Got Counterspell, and their initiative has to draw a card next turn. That's the only door they can go in. Boarding Party. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I guess I could win this game, but I know they have Counterspell. Whatever. Wish I had another land. Cleansing Wildfire. Okay. Let's just keep casting those. Yes. Get another mountain. Do another land. Counterspell that. Okay. I can Galvanic Blast the Archaeomancer. Where they draw a card, I go to 1 from the attack. I think I would like to at least try to remove this creature from play, and if they have Ephemerate in hand, it's whatever. Okay, go. I'm at 1, and you get to draw an extra card. I had to use my blast, unfortunately, because I was dead on board. Another Archaeomancer, picking up another counterspell, I'm sure. I can cast 2 Avenging Hunters next turn and push through counterspell to take the initiative, but I don't think that's enough. I'll end up at 1. Oh, they're tapping red mana currently. Is it a Wildfire? Nope, it's more than that. Evoking a Muldrifter. Oh, because that leaves up counterspell. Right. Yep, good call. Drew 2 cards. Is the red blast among the, or the Galvanic Blast among them? Fire Ice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And look at that, if you would. The missing my land drop all those turns ago is actually affecting the game right now. But if they care about this, like if they counterspell this, one of the rooms I can go into is a treasure. So I can play Avenging Hunter, get the initiative back, make the treasure kill the Archaeomancer, and then I'm not dead on board anymore. Here's the other one. Really wish that I could goad their creature into attacking instead of making a treasure, but gotta make a treasure now. Make the treasure token and fire the Archaeomancer right now while my opponent's mana is busy. And land go. If their hand is somehow nothing at all, we're actually doing okay here. Any removal spell, I'm dead. Any burn spell, I'm dead. All right, Modern Age, they're going to get another look. That one doesn't kill me by itself. Discarded a land. Ephemerate, okay. They can't attack now, but they do get more looks at a burn spell. There's probably 2 left in their deck. The only room I can go into is the 4/1 skeleton room here. Casting a Muldrifter, that's more looks. All right, I'm looking for a Galvanic Blast off the top. Like Altasaur into Boarding Party into Blast. I'm not greedy. Also, if I draw an initiative effect, I can enter the last room immediately. A 4/1 skeleton and a land. Shit. I am dead on board, so I might as well attack. See if this baits some questionable behavior from my opponent. It blocked with the non-flying creature. That one was the one that didn't matter anyway. Oh, changed their mind. Yeah, I'm like one turn or a couple of life points away from stabilizing this game. Oh well. All right, we lost this one. But it took my opponent a long time to do it. If they ephemerate their Muldrifter, we're actually... Oh my god, they ephemerated Muldrifter. Just attack, homie. I'm so dead. They did get to draw 2 cards off Muldrifter, then one off the Modern Age. The burn spells are in there somewhere. Okay, they found a burn spell. Yikes. I gave them a chance to mess up, and they tried to take it, and then found their win anyway. It's all good. Okay, game 3. I am up 7 minutes on the clock, and I think I have matchup advantage, especially now that I know what they're doing. The other relics coming in, Deglamour is worse. I mean, the Cheese Stone Rain early is pretty exciting. Fire Ice, fine. I think Kenku is kind of bad. Number Spider might be great. They have to kill that a lot of times, and poking for damage with flyers is how they win. I am totally doing the thing where I'm boarding out the meme of the deck and just becoming Big Temur Cascade. This is just not a good matchup for indestructible creatures. Though, I guess Kenku actually might be better than Pulsa Marasa, because they would need to exile my indestructible flyer to get through it with all their attackers. No, this actually does sound good. I think Penumbra Spider's better, but the Kenku's actually just fine. Do I want Cannonades or Breath Weapons? They do have spot removal, and I can break up their graveyard shit, but kicking off, like sweeping their board while stifling an Ephemerate is pretty hot. I'm not going to bring in Weather the Storm, though they are kind of a glorified burn deck. But only if the game goes that long, and with me on the play. Alright, I'm doing this. This is my version. No sweepers. Graveyard hate at the max. On the play with a Wildfire start, I'm going to keep this. Yeah, I get to ramp, I get to Kenku early, and then we'll see what a 3/3 Indestructible actually does for this game. There's also a good chance that my opponent times out. Their deck is very slow, and my deck has a lot of interaction. And I hope we play a real game, but that's also live. If I draw Deglamour, I'm slamming it. Just saying. Number Spider. Okay, I'm gonna Cleansing Wildfire myself up a island. Island and drew another bridge. Okay. I can Spider this turn or Kenku this turn plus set up Avenging Hunter on next turn. Alright, opponents in the Modern Age. Discarded Deep Analysis. Amazing. Visionary. Visionary is better than Kenku. That gets me up to more mana, more cards. Either way, I'm extremely interested in Avenging Hunter next turn. I don't really need a 3/3 Indestructible on this board right now, but I would love to have the initiative. Discarded a land to Modern Age. Clearly not hurting for mana over there. It's Seagate Oracle. I'm okay with that. Because I ramped, I get to Avenging Hunter this turn and leave Llanowar Visionary back as a creature. I'm just going Turbo Initiative here. Let's take it and keep it and make a game out of it. And searching for a basic means I can Altasaur next turn as well. I have lots of red, lots of green. Red-green duels make this pretty easy. I don't want another basic island. That's not a thing I'm going to need two of with a blue source already chilling in my hand. Green is actually pretty hungry right now, though. Got a lot of green pips in my hand. They would have to remove both of my creatures to get the initiative here. Next turn they'll have a flyer, but Altasaur has reach, so does Penumbra Spider. Right, they could also just go in on an Ephemerate line and try to outmuscle what I'm doing. Reasonable. Obnoxious, but reasonable. A Forge, put +2 counters on something or scry 2. I think I'm going to Forge up my Avenging Hunter. Having this giant trample creature seems like a place to be. I'm going to Forge onto Avenging Hunter. Put their life total in danger. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I could Altasaur, but it taps me out. I could also just Penumbra Spider and Fire Ice. That actually sounds more responsible. I'm going to attack with my 7/6 first. 7/6 trample. You're dead in 3 hits. Let's go. And second main, Number Spider and kill Muldrifter. A big old blocker. If they rebound their Ephemerate, then Seagate Oracle can't attack. You could also flicker Vector Glider back into the Modern Age and loot more cards over the next 2 turns. That is how that works. Pretty cool. I can trap or goad. Goad seems actually pretty bad against a deck with Ephemerate that can remove the necessity to attack. Wildfire, yep. Little late for all that, I think. And Penumbra Spider's so good. Some things never change. This has been a great Pauper card since 2008 when it was printed. Or thereabouts. It might even be a year before then. Or it's probably 06, actually. Right, trap, you're going to lose 5 life. I'm coming for you. Coming for you here. You're at 8. And, oh. Okay. I can... Alright, Kenku is actually about to bring the pain here. I'm going to Kenku up a land that can attack. If they use Counterspell on this, then Galvanic Blast is live. Cool. If I attack with all my creatures, what happens? You block, go to 1, die. Double block the trample, you take 4. If you block Visionary with the 2/3, absorb 3 damage from this, you take 4, 5, 6. Yeah, attacking with all my creatures looks pretty lethal. Math is for blockers, let's go. And I have exactly enough lands for Galvanic Relay to pay me out. Okay, you're at 1. Fire! They are out of here. A nice little sped up initiative game. Not so sped up that it should be banned. That felt like an appropriate use of the initiative in the format. Good job, Pauper Panel, leaving some of these cards legal. Another win on the board. Let's keep going.
We're a few rounds into the video. Thanks for sticking with me. Friendly reminder that if you're still here and having fun, smash that subscribe button. And if you want to play what I'm playing, you can use my affiliate link for TCG Player to support the channel while you shop for cards, and you can try any deck anytime with a cardhoarder.com loan account for Magic Online. All these links are in the video description below. Now back to the league.
On the play in round 4 with a Wildfire start, I'm going to keep it. I'm ready to party. Just need to find some more mana. And the one of Muldrifter delivering here, even if I don't draw a land in any of my draw steps, the Wildfire plus the 2 lands I have will get me to evoke Muldrifter. Good stuff. Opponent's on a Mulda 6 over there. Ginger Brute. Uh-oh. I don't know what's happening. But I hope that sweeper is good. And I'm going to get another mountain out of this. Red's just the most important card in the deck. Missed on the land drop. Got a draw step plus a Muldrifter to try to figure out the next step here. Cauldron Familiar. Citadel Gate. Found the land drop, which means I get to... Wait, if I'm Muldrifter, I go up to 9 cards, or 8 cards in hand, then I play my own. Yeah, that's fine. Could also just Tangle Pool. Nah, fuck it. I want to hit land number 5 and number 6, and this is a chance to do that. Cool. And the bridge is better to me, or the red bridge is better than the blue bridge here. I've got to make a better land drop because I sequenced correctly. Sweeper in my hand. Opponent continued adding X1s to the board. There's the Basilisk Gate. I was expecting that. There's a Skyfisher. That one's kind of a bummer. Basilisk Gate is a sorcery. By playing Bridge, that is my 3rd artifact, I can Cannonade the small creatures and Galvanic Blast the big creature. I'm going to wait till they activate Gate if that's the plan. Just get a big sweep out of this. Galvanic Blast that thing. Then Cannonade the rest of these. Just don't want you to have any creatures. No thanks. Now I'm going to boarding party. Just like we drew it up. Main deck sweepers, folks. It's good shit. Ooh, my Kenku. We've got a indestructible creature. Indestructible flying blocker versus the +X on my flying creature deck. And we're gonna just have another party here. Oh, even drew the basic to keep it rolling. Let's go! Galvanic Blast, yep. Right at your dome. And here come a bunch of creatures. Kanku Artificer in the red zone for the first time. Cast down 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Still at 2. And I have another hasty indestructible creature in my hand. Just waiting to mash. Another cast down. Still dead. Damn. There's your ramp deck. Play land, play land, play land. Kill you in 2 turns. Good stuff. All right, all the sweepers coming in. I don't think I want the Weather the Storms. This doesn't seem like that kind of deck. The Emergence is probably good against a lot of their creatures, but they also... We saw a Flyer. I imagine Squadron Hawk is in this deck as well. Just like all the sweepers, more than I like a big body on the ground. I do like the indestructible body in the air, though. Kanku is nice. Avenging Hunter seems a little dangerous in the matchup. They have Ginger Brute, like actual unblockable creature. Though I can block it. I have creatures in my deck with haste. Oh, this grants haste, doesn't it? Enchanted Land is a 4/5 green spirit with vigilance and haste. I can block the shit out of some Ginger Brutes. Does this one give haste too? One creature artifact. No, this one does not grant haste. Okay. They normally template the things that animate lands to give them haste in case you accidentally target a land you played this turn. That was just like a feel bad from old school Magic. But this targets artifacts and not lands, so you should know if your artifact's been in play or not. Okay, makes sense with modern templating. I could drop some Altosaurus for Number Spiders here, but I think I just want to go big against this deck. I have enough removal. All the sweepers should really stop their BS. It's not like actual burn where I might just not have 7 mana. They're playing gates. They want to activate the gates. The gate is powered up by land drops, so we're both trying to make land drops and play a longer game. This one's a mulligan, doesn't do anything. This one ramps and interacts. I'm in. And do I want to bottom Kanku and try to ramp up to boarding party? Or do I want to bottom boarding party and use Kanku to stay alive? That's actually interesting. I'm going to bottom party. All my Cascaders are still in the deck. Cleansing Wildfire shuffles, gets it back in the mix. Yeah, that makes sense to me. Got to play the red land first. It's my turn 2 play as a red card. Got some gates over here. And Ichor Wellspring, sure. Avenging Hunter, yeah, there's a payoff for ramping. Wildfire. Wildfire also has flavor text in this matchup where I can destroy their Basilisk Gate. Probably didn't want to get Island there because I drew a blue source. I had mapped out like I'm going to get Island since my turn 1 and just aborted off it. I'm going to Visionary this turn. I can relay or blast whenever. There's 2-minute Galvanic cards these days, and by taking the draw step, taking the turn, there's a chance it will have Metalcraft, or by chance, I mean, it's likely to have Metalcraft for the rest of the game. Deadly Dispute, sacking Wellspring. My opponent just drew a bagajillion cards. But early, a bagajillion cards. Edict, okay. Yeah, I mean, that's an answer to indestructible creatures. Yeah, that's really interesting. Kanku is Edict fodder, but I was going to animate my red land this turn, which I may or may not do now. I really don't want to lose my land to an Edict. That sucks. Or not my 1 red source anyway. Yeah, if I had gotten Mountain instead of Island off of that Wildfire, this whole turn would be a joke. All right, I'm going to Kanku up my red source and live with the consequences. I just want red mana. I want Galvanic Blast up going into their turn. Okay, here we are. And pass the turn. Ginger Brute is a food, just in case that comes up. That can return Cauldron Familiar to play. Just saying. Basilisk Gate is good for +3/+3. If they target Ginger Brute with Basilisk Gate, I can wait for them to also make it unblockable and then shoot it. Golden Egg, also a food, notably. Unblockable. Do I want to blast this thing? Not yet. Probably, maybe not at all. I guess I am going to blast it because getting it out of play gives them... It removes their evasive creature for Avenging Huntmaster next turn. Okay, Reckoner's Bargain. Did they sack the wrong creature? Oh, no. Okay. What? Reckoner's Bargain. Sacrifice an artifact or creature. Okay, yeah, by sacking Cauldron Familiar, then using Ginger Brute, they do deal 1 extra damage to me. Cool. Yeah, neat trick. I'm going to become initiatived. Search my deck for a basic mountain, put it into play, and represent Galvanic Blast with 2 blockers here. And mountain and play it. Here we go. This is where 4 or 5 trample starts to push over what they're doing. I hope. Well, cast down's pretty good. What else we got? How deep we going? Cast down again. Oh no. Gonna have to Galvanic Blast this cat. Omen. Return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. Okay. You're gonna get back Ginger Brute. And you can cast it. Wow, okay. So I'm losing the initiative here, which makes me wonder if I should even Galvanic Blast, and I think the answer is no. Yeah, it's fine. They can search their deck for a basic land, and I will save my Galvanic Blast. I can cast Avenging Hunter to retake the initiative, or I can attack them. It'll depend on if I draw an untapped land here, and I did. Okay. So if I attack you first, then play, I get two initiatives. I can put 2 counters on my indestructible creature and then deal 5 to you. Or I could scry 2 and then make a treasure, which gets me Altasaur next turn. All right, I'm going to attack. I think I want to scry 2 and get Altasaur next turn. And my opponent is a food deck. Dealing 5 to them seems like a mistake. Scry 2. Fire Ice. Yeah. Against this deck? Okay. I'm not about to draw a card, right? I get to make a treasure here. Which card do I want in my hand? I think I want Fire Ice on top and Llanowar Visionary above it. I do like all these cards. And then play a Mountain and Avenging Hunter again, which makes a treasure. Go into the stash, get a treasure. And now I can block one of these and shoot the other. There are 4 gates now, so I do have to respond to Basilisk Gate with Galvanic Blast if that's my plan. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to block Cat and shoot the other one. Shoot the Ginger Brute. I'm going to do the trick again. Deadly Dispute. Sack your cat, draw 2 cards, then sack your brute, get your cat back. Sure. I get to keep my initiative here, which was what I was worried about, though my life total is dwindling. I think I should have stacked my things the other way. I was pretty excited about Fire Ice when maybe I didn't need to be. I'm going to go into the Throne of the Dead 3 very quickly here. Urshan Cleric. You gain 3 life. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That makes the gate bigger than Altasaur. Got a spooky skeleton here. But my indestructible flying blocker coming in clutch. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. To be annoyed. Wish that I had stacked these differently. Fire, killing cat doesn't really do anything. I guess I just want to draw a card. This was a really bad Fire Ice, actually. I messed this up big time. Ice your Skyfisher, I guess. Always draw a card here. Try to hit a land drop or something. Also Marasa. That's really good. Okay. 2 flying blockers. 2 blockers on the ground. The Edict in their graveyard. If they want to tap out to play that, I'm happy to lose my skeleton. And I'm going into the Throne of the Dead 3 in my upkeep if they can't get something through here. I mean, Ginger Brute is unblockable. If they have another one or a way to recur the one they have. Oh, they picked up Omen of the Dead with Skyfisher last turn, so they can definitely connect with Ginger Brute. Oh, they just have it in hand anyway. Cool. None of these creatures have haste. You're going to gas up a 7-power creature. Am I dead somehow? Oh no, they're just making it unblockable. Sure. And they get to put +2 counters or scry 2 when they take the initiative here. Yeah, the cat's a good attack because it's going to get through for 1 either way. You go to 5, Pulse of Marasa. I need you, buddy. Luckily, I do in fact have it. Put 2 counters on what? I've never been in the Throne of the Dead 3. I know it's crazy. Reveal the top 10 cards of your library. Put a creature card from among them onto the battlefield with 3+1 counters on it. Gain hexproof until your next turn. Alright, yeah, that's pretty powerful. Let's do that. Right, making Skyfisher a 4/5. And is there more? The cat can come into play. Lots of foods to do that with. What do I need to attack with here? Is it everything? Am I dead if I attack with everything? I mean, my Throne of the Dead 3 is pretty exciting. I think I want to leave back my Indestructible Flyer and attack with my Trample and Menace creatures. This is enough to get the initiative and get the trigger while leaving something in the tank. Yeah, here comes the cat. I lose a life and it can block. I get it. I get it. Cat is going to double block the skeleton with something. Yeah, Menace. Bonus of 25. They're not in danger of dying here, but they have to figure out. They might just take all this and leave a bunch of creatures in play because my life total is really low. Okay, they're just, yeah, basically taking all of it, but with a cat so they can drain me for 1 as well. And I get to go into the throne. This is exciting. Avenging Hunter, I get another trigger immediately. Boarding Party can block Ginger Brute. And it gets 3+1 counters. It'll be a 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I like Boarding Party. 9/6 hexproof. Don't mind if I do. And also Marasa picking up Kenku. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Kenku does create another blocker eventually. Yeah, and I like the 6 life here. I like it a lot. Then Kenku, make another indestructible blocker for someday. This game is crazy. If they sack a food, they will have 4 attackers if they're willing to put their whole board into it. Omen gets another Ginger Brute. Okay, those are... Basilisk Gate is activated as a sorcery. I got that going for me. Plenty of creatures to sacrifice to Edict effects. They can trap this turn if they take the initiative, which they are basically guaranteed to do. I gotta stay above 5 life from this attack if I can. They are in danger to a big smash next turn, though. Casting down my Kenku, that hurts. Does that kill me? 1, 2, 3. No, not yet. Not dead yet. The way they're not just jamming all their spells in, it seems like they know that I can block. It's easy to forget that Ginger Brute isn't literally unblockable, and I do have a haste creature. The bridge is basically on Skyfisher duty. That thing is lethal on its own. And Boarding Party blocks a Brute. I go to 6. They deal 5 to me. If they can kill their cat somehow, that's the last point. Dicey. Yeah, the multiple times this game where they've sacked cat and then sacked Ginger Brute to bring cat back in response to a removal spell on Ginger Brute has added up. Like, if I had 2 more life here, the game would be much easier. Oh, they're gating up the Arishan Cleric. Interesting. Alright, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. Trying to keep Ginger Brute around. I guess this... Okay. What does this do? They'll have to block the flyer with the flyer, and we'll get a trade on Arishan Cleric. And I go to 3, or I take 3, which puts me to 1. They said they think they miss lethal. If they buff the cat, then I have to block the cat. Yeah. Okay. Yes. They did miss lethal. Yeah, if they buff cat there, then I have a force block, which puts it in the graveyard, and then... Oh. Oh yeah, I guess they are dead on the backswing here. Alright. Very close game. Tight game. Really cool deck. I haven't seen this particular build of it yet. Maybe this is just out there. I haven't been playing a lot of Pauper lately. But sick deck. On to the final round.
For the absolute best Magic the Gathering apparel on the market, check out the link in the video description to coalesceapparel.shop, and be sure to use the code BoshNRoll for 10% off when you check out.
On the play for the final round, no ramp, no blue mana. I'm still going to keep this hand. I'll have some faith. Blue mana turns on ice. I have the Indestructible Bridge for a Wildfire if I draw it, and maybe fire, just double fire is enough to push through here. We'll see. This hand is good at not dying quickly, and it's almost good at seeing more cards. One land gets me Harmonious Emergence. Opponent said they're a big fan of my legacy stuff. What about my Pauper stuff? I do that too. No, but thank you for the compliment. You're very nice. Sacred Cat. Fire does line up against that a little bit. Another Altasaur. Literal worst draw in my deck. Let's hope they try to put an enchantment on this thing. Smashing. So this could be some sort of gate deck, or it could be like a heroic or Bogle's kind of situation. Great Sword of Tur. Whenever equipped creature attacks, put a +1 counter on it and tap up to 1 creature. Oh, that's pretty strong. And that costs 1 to equip. I'm going to fire this cat in the end step. I think that this opponent starting a turn with no creatures in play will be better for me than starting a turn with a creature. Okay, I at least found the land for Emergence. We're getting there. Happy with basically any land draw. Another cat. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Feed the machine. Want to cast 1 fire. What are the chances they have another? 100%. Okay, I'm going to emerge here because it's my best play. Just put a giant idiot in play and get bigger than the creature deck. Fiend's Informant, this connives, discarded Prismatic Strands, that's pretty cool. The Harmonious Emergence does give this color. It is a green spirit. Oh, Kenku, drawing a blue card when I don't have blue mana. This is the first time we've struggled on mana this game, other than when I like fetch the wrong land. And this sword thing, put a +1 counter on it and tap up to 1 target creature if any player controls. My my Vig plan just isn't gonna work. Gonna need a little more from my deck here. Uh-oh. Yeah. You're equipped. This sword is cool. I have never seen that card in play ever before, and it is exactly what my opponent needs. All right, deck, how about the sweeper right now? Next turn is too late. I'll take the sweeper, I'll take a ramp spell, take a land. In with my land again, and 6 mana. An untapped land gives me Altasaur. Boarding Party's now live. Wow, this great sword thing, so good. Just got out of Galvanic Blast range as well, though I imagine their hand is full of ways to protect this. Like their plan is probably to like Delver me out. And untapped land, tap land. I just dead. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Pretty close. Yeah, I'm just gonna get Delvered out this game. I am at 1 on the board. Next turn I can Altasaur, and I'm not even sure if that stabilizes me. Oh, I'm actually dead on board if they attack with the Sacred Cat. The one they've been holding back. They've been holding it back to Prismatic Strands and protect from removal. If they just go in here, I lose. Bummer. Oh, yes, yes, live in fear, live in fear. It's my only chance. Live in fear. Yeah, live in fear, live in fear. Any pump spell, though, also just finishes me off. Okay, I'm at 1. I don't even know if Altasaur is helpful. You fucker. Another Altasaur. I'm going to attack because I have Vigilance. That part's free. Yeah, this was the most embarrassing display this deck has come up with. I did keep kind of an awkward Altasaur heavy hand and then drew more Altasaurs instead of cards to cast. Yeah, there's a good chance this just doesn't even prevent lethal from happening to me. Llanowar Visionary. Yeah, that's not going to help because they can tap one of them and I'm at 1. And yeah, we're dead. Okay. Great Sword of Terror. Who knew? That card is fucked. I win this game 1,000 times out of 1,000 if that card's not involved in it with my Vig monster. Really cool tech. Okay. All of these sweepers coming in. I don't think I'm bringing in Relic, though we did see Prismatic Strands and Cat. We saw 2 reasons to bring in Relic. A Number Spider, I like that. Altasaur. We'll get a little thinner on our mana values here. Harmonious Aversion seems great. They're a mono white deck though. This, if someone has Dust to Dust and Revoke Existences, it's going to be this opponent. If that's even a thing that's important. Maybe Muldrifter can chill. Need 2 more cuts here. It's not any of the red cards. I could just be careful with my Avenging Hunter. Kenku is kind of medium. Do I want Deglammers? Do I want Relics? I think the answer is no to both. With this many sweepers in the deck, that seems pretty good. I think I do want Emergences. Yeah, Emergence is just really good, even if it does get Revoke Existences. Okay, I'm in with this version. On the play, 1 land away from being very happy about this hand, gonna mulligan it. Oh no, not like this in the final round. We're going to 5. Okay, keep this one. Send back Emergence and Basic Island. Okay, this hand needs some help, but I'm here for it. Fire Ice is good. Kenku's pretty good. Don't need to respond to Sacred Cat right away. I hope. Drew another Emergence. Disappointing. This is where I get Revoke Existence out of the game. Fiend's Informant. Okay. If I had left up Fire, I could have gotten a squeaky little 2-for-1. Didn't I just send one of those to the bottom? And board one out? We've seen all 3. Okay, I'm going to animate the blue one. That's the one that I care the least if it dies. Red, green are my important cards, or my important colors. I will totally trade Kenku for anything. Time for Dust to Dust. Oh yeah, yep. This league is over, folks. We went a long way without seeing a Dust to Dust. Let's see if I can draw a land. Alright. GG's. I'm not even going to try. We're done. That was too big. Awkward hand game 1, Multi 5 game 2 that then drew 2 cards that I actively didn't want. That's what happens when you put situational clunkers in a deck. But we still ended up with a positive record, and one of the losses was a punt. If I was just a little more careful with my representing Weather the Storm against Burn, playing to my outs rather than playing to reasonable math. Because sometimes the math is unreasonable, but we're not playing poker. Like this is a game where we can actively make decisions to change what math. Like math is still math, but you can make decisions where like calculating in some games, it's like, well, they're 1% to have that, so I'm 99% to win this, time to shove. But in Magic, you can be like, they're 1% to have that, but I can represent something that even if they have it, they don't play it, and then there are cards in my deck that can turn 1% to 0, and I just didn't play to that. And then that last round, we finally ran into a Dust to Dust and got completely obliterated by it. This deck felt pretty defensible, though. I was heavy on the artifact land stuff because that was the prompt. But just like Temur ramp with Avenging Hunter and the Cascade spells seems pretty good. Harmonious Emergence might even be like good enough on its own, but like you could cut like 2 Kenkus and 2 Emergences, round out your Muldrifters, maybe put another Sweeper in the main deck, and this deck probably gets better. Just Temur value pile with the initiative involved. The initiative was great. This Avenging Hunter, just as a card, you can ramp into it, you can Cascade into it, just a big old body. That was really good. I'm going to leave this where it is, though. As far as what the brew challenge was, which was animate artifact lands for profit, I think we did that. And the Cleansing Wildfire ramp into boarding party strategy is not something new. Like that's very much part of Pauper. It's a thing people know about. This Temur build of it with main deck sweepers and go into Muldrifters and add the initiative. All that stuff, pretty dope. Cool deck at the end of the day. As far as brew challenges go, rousing success. Thank you, 93, for asking me to do this. Everybody else, thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Check out the Patreon. link if you want to support the channel directly, and all the other links if you want to support the people who support the channel via my sponsors. Appreciate you all being here, and I'll see you for the next one.